Hey, everybody, welcome to Rants. I'm your host, Ryan Shed, and I have the amazing Old Man Murphy with me here today. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing freaking fantastic. And before we get started, I just got to say, congratulations on 100,000 followers on TikTok, sir.
Thank you
That's
very much. That my
freaking
God, that
outstanding.
that last the home stretch just took forever, and it was
It,
really eating at my anxiety.
Dude, I remember because, and I
Oh,
haven't gone very high since, but when I
hmm
hit 100, it was like there was just that sense of relief. You're like, man, I was staring at 98 and
hmm
99,000 for so long.
Exactly. Yeah, it was driving me nuts. 'Cause, I mean, from 50 to 75, it went really quickly, and then 75 to 80, 85 to 90. Okay, and then it just
Yeah.
it was like, okay, I need to get some constipation medicine because this is just, I need to eat some fiber or something. You shit or get off the pot, man. Come on.
Right? Oh my God. And what I think I gotta say, it was probably, and I tried to load it up, but it wouldn't let me onto here because it was an MOV format. But the video that I think pushed you over the edge was you and your daughter doing
Oh
it
yeah,
with
yeah.
the
That was fun to do.
that was
I love
freaking fantastic.
I love doing the random TikToks with the kids just because it's completely different from what I normally do. But
Yeah.
most of the stuff I'll do with my son will be lip syncing stuff. There's one I have on my channel. It's the scene from Uncle Buck where John Candy and Macaulay Culkin are going back and forth in that
Yeah, I just love that movie.
and the other one that we did was from Dodgeball. I play Patches, and I'm sitting down. I said, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. And I have a fake plastic wrench. And then my son plays Justin Long's character, and he goes, "What?" And I throw this thing, and I clock him right in the head, and I just lobbed it at him, but I'm speeding it up so it looks like it hit him right, and he just goes down like a sack of bricks. And any other
CPS
questions?
was banging on your door later. Oh my God. You're like, no, it's fake. Look. Um, I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to go.
Oh yeah, it's if you get a chance to see it, it's far back. It's really far
Is it?
back. So
I know. I started trying to find a video from a while back. I'm scrolling like, holy crap, do I do a lot of these videos? Those minutes add up.
Yeah, they do.
All right. So with that being said, that was enough. That was enough positive. Let's move on to the bullshit.
Yeah.
I really did hope. I know we're still going to have fun, but I hope to have more of a fun episode than this is going to end up being.
Yeah.
Simply because in the last couple of days, we've had the shooting in Georgia, which a lot of people, including myself, are calling hate crime.
Yeah.
Because it seems to have targeted Asian Americans in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And now we've got the Colorado shooter in Boulder, who I think the final loss of life was 10 individuals, one being an officer.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, let me see, let me point it up here. So this is the guy. His name was Ahmad Al-Aliwi Alyssa, and I'm sure I messed that up. So yeah. But this is the guy, 21-year-old, and the reason that I wanted to bring this one up for us is because of the mental health aspect.
Yes.
Because you and I both struggle with that.
Yeah.
And so when I read that, it was like, of course, we have to look at that because a lot of people on both sides, primarily the right, like to say, well, we need to focus on mental health.
Well,
instead of gun control itself. And there's some validity to that statement.
There's some validity to the mental health, but it's focusing solely on the mental health is not the solve all here. It's I mean, like I said before we went live here, this whole issue on gun control, it's a many tentacled beast where I mean, yeah, you need to have some gun reform, some gun legislation to, curb the thirst or for the bloodlust or whatever you want to call it, for the access of weaponry to be out there. You need to restrict that more.
Yeah.
And then but paired with that, you also need to have more access to better forms of mental health care. So
Yes.
it's the healthcare aspect that goes along with that. And there's another tentacle. But
Yep.
not only that, but, say somebody is in their right mind and they're just, they're at a financial point in their life where they feel this is the only way to get around it. So now it's the economy that you need to
Yep.
tack onto that. And that's another arm. And
Yep.
then maybe someone just doesn't know any better. So now the education system, it's this giant Lovecraftian beast of just horridness.
Yeah.
That it's not, there's no one quick solve all. You can't duct tape this.
You can't.
It's got to be this. It's just a whole mess of different aspects need to be looked at to address the whole problem, rather than just fix one slice of one piece of the puzzle and forget about the rest.
I completely agree with. And too often I think with gun control, gun reform, whatever you want to call it, it too often it becomes a one or two issue conversation. When, like you said, the tentacles, that there's just so many aspects of this conversation that we need to take into account.
Yeah.
But one thing that I wanted to point out is this tweet with some information. It said, "Holy shit, Boulder, Colorado passed an assault weapons ban in 2018. The NRA sued the city and a judge struck down the ban 10 days ago. The Boulder shooter bought the gun 6 days before the shooting. These deaths were the direct result of the NRA's intervention." So, when you talk about, the pieces of the puzzle we need to focus on, clearly the NRA is still on that list.
The NRA needs to be disbanded. It's a terrorist organization now.
Oh yeah.
Totally. I mean, it used to be. I remember growing up and thinking the NRA, yeah, they were the heroes, they were the cowboys, and now, what do they really do except hold us back?
Yeah.
It's Chuck Heston's dead. It's gone. You're always going to have the guys screaming whenever you say, we need to have more gun control. They're always going to come back with the same thing: shall not be infringed, because that's the only part of the Second Amendment that they bother to read.
Yeah, they always leave out the well-organized militia part.
It's just, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Well, and that goes on to that was a great transition to the next talking point. So the Biden administration, Biden came out today and said that he's asking Congress to seriously consider high capacity magazine restrictions at a federal level, as well as assault rifles.
And I did a video earlier today. I'm bringing up the headline so I can get it. Democrat. Let's see. It was which one was it? It was Richard Blumenthal, Democrat from Connecticut, who pretty much said the inaction has made this horror completely predictable. Blumenthal said Tuesday that Congress's lack of action on gun legislation has made it complicit in the violence. That's hitting the nail on the head. I mean, if you're gonna just, it goes along with some failed relationships of mine, where inaction. I mean, inaction in a situation is an action. I mean, if your wife says, "Honey, do I look fat in this dress?" and you shut up, that's still an action.
Correct.
And it's
very correct.
It's yes. Like no, honey. It goes along. There's another great analogy. There's that meme about Family Feud where Steve Harvey says, "Which one of the 7 dwarves most describes your wife's sex life?" And neither of the guys that are going to buzz in say, no.
I've seen that, and that still cracks me up every time I see it.
And it's that inaction, but it's not in a funny sense anymore. It's if you guys don't do anything, this shit's gonna keep on happening.
Yes.
And it's like, if you don't scold your child, if you don't punish your child after he steals steals candy from the store, or if he beats up somebody at school, if you don't discipline him and tell him that's wrong, he's going to keep on doing it.
Yes.
So you guys have to do something, or guess what? Come 2022, we're going to find somebody who can.
Yep. Absolutely. And that's the attitude that I think we need to have moving forward, period. You know, and the next talking point I had was, you know, hate crimes and mass shootings, talking about the mental health aspect, you know, and how this Ahmad guy seems like, you know, his family said that he was having some issues prior, but it didn't sound like he was diagnosed. He was a 21-year-old guy. It just fucking sucks. You know, I don't know why the white kid walked in and shot the Asian people. I don't know why this guy walked into a fucking grocery store and decided to shoot people.
I'm still trying to tie together how sexual addiction ends up with 6 Asian women dead. I don't get that. And this whole bullshit of having a bad day.
Yeah, that needs to go.
No, yeah, that I have so many 4-letter Anglo-Saxon words for these two people. And the NRA was bragging about it. That's there. If you are complicit, then you are in cahoots with terrorists.
Yep. And I like this talking point. I know it's a Democratic talking point, but somehow I think automatic and semi-automatics weren't available during the time the Constitution was written.
If you really want to talk about shall not be infringed, then you need to go back to a fucking musket.
Yep. I think somebody actually muzzle loaders. Gretchen said that. Muzzle loaders.
You stay right there. I'll be with you in 5-10 minutes.
Oh my God, that was good. But I mean, the one thing we need to focus on here, I think, if we're talking about gun legislation, you know, common sense gun legislation, is that both of these individuals purchased their guns within days of committing mass murders.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know how we can't not look at that. That's a fact. And now we need to look at it and say, okay, this is why we have waiting periods. This is why we have these loopholes that we have to jump through. Nobody's telling you can't own a gun. We're just saying that we need to make sure that you're not one of these crazy fuckers, you know, before you get one. This is coming, might I add, again, coming from me. I'm not going to speak for you, but this is coming from me, who's I'm a mental health sufferer, I guess we'll call it. You know, I battle my mental health daily. I'm medicated for it. Trust me, I don't want anybody coming and taking my handguns. You know, I don't plan on coughing up my guns, people. But being in the military, I also don't feel the need to have an M13 style weapon in my house or in my gun locker. I you know, a shotgun and a couple handguns should be more than enough to defend your home.
Exactly. It's that's the one question I can't get an answer on. I take that back. I have gotten an answer, but they're bullshit answers. I can't get a mature answer whenever I say, why do you need an AR-15? Why should civilians have access to these high-powered weapons?
And what's the answer you usually get?
It's fun, or I like going hunting with it. It's easy going hunting. Oh, hello, Nikki. I'm sorry. I had to. They're fun. I've seen that one, and I'm like,
mine is the one that it's for sport. I think that's the one that I just like, if it was legal, I would slap people when they said it.
It's technically you can slap him. It's an open hand.
Without going to jail.
You can do it open hand. That's fine. But if you close fist, that's where you get into the assault.
I think mine are one here. I think's onto something. Yeah, it makes them feel powerful. I think
it's an overcompensation thing. I mean,
almost like the truck.
Yeah, with the big truck. Yes. It's. I mean, as far as growing up, guns and chicks have gone hand in hand. I mean, right up there with Marlboro cigarettes. But I mean, you have a chick in an American flag bikini with an AK-47 on her hip, and that is sexy. And I'm like, why is that sexy? I mean, I could see the girl. Yes, okay, great, but she could be holding a 6-foot salami on her side. That's just as well.
Just as yeah. Can you bring that over here?
Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, I would rather her holding like a 6-pack of beer. That'd be better for me.
Yeah,
but I just never understood the correlation between chicken guns. I mean, you'll see, scantily clad women, sitting on tanks at gun shows, and
it's like the auto show.
Mm-hmm.
My dad used to take me to the auto show when I was a kid in Detroit, and they'd have all the pretty girls next to the car, like, oh, look at this car. It's the same thing. They're all playing to the gun-toting, folks who just want to see a hot woman carry a gun. But let me point one thing out, Murph. Yeah. I tell people, my wife deployed 3 times when she was in the military. She's put down more people than I have. So I'm just going to lay that out there.
Okay.
And she does not feel the need to carry a weapon. But man, is it fucking hot thinking about it.
Well, see,
I'm not gonna lie.
See, I mean, my wife can put people down in a completely different way. And I've seen her I've seen Jehovah's Witnesses come to our door, and then she just rips them 5 new assholes on Sunday. I'm in the bedroom. I'm completely naked under the covers. They're like, "You take me now. That's hot." Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, please come back here to the bedroom this way. Yes. Well, and I'm going to flip my talking points around because that was a good transition into the next one. So speaking of the Catholic priest church, and unfortunately for me, this happened in the great state of Arizona. Once again, we clearly have some work cut out for us here. So I'm going to put this up, and then we'll let you have at it.
Even if you're pro-abortion, but your ideas are not welcome here, and they will be given no quarter. The same with Joe Biden. He's a Catholic. He's a member of the family. If for some reason he would be in Buckeye on a Sunday, Joe Biden is welcome to come to Mass here. His ideas are not welcome here. And if you ask me a follow-up question, would you give him communion? No. Over my dead body. Not until he repents. He's a public figure. He needs to publicly repent. And we need to pray for his conversion.
Notice he never says what he needs to repent for. That's convenient.
Good point.
He never says what he has to repent for, and never once have I ever heard Biden say that he's pro-abortion. I think we need to get this out there that pro-choice is not pro-abortion.
Yes,
it's. I don't think
women have an autonomy over their own body.
There it is. I mean, I've never been put in. I'll never personally be put in that position because I don't have a vagina. But the fact that, number one, men are making this decision for women, it disgusts me to no end. But the whole, it's either pro-life or pro-choice. Okay, well, we're pro-choice. I'm pro-choice just because it's not my decision. It's not my decision because I don't have a uterus. I'll never have one. So whatever my wife decides who has the uterus, I will support her.
Yes.
I'm not going to be happy if, we got pregnant. Oh, crap. Can we afford it? No. Well, what can we do? Well, we could put it up for adoption, but that's not, we really don't want to do this. So, okay, we're going to go for the abortion. I'm not happy about it. Nobody's happy. No one's just saying, yippee skippy, let's just get laid and have another way. You could just vacuum it out or get the coat hanger. Nobody is saying that. And I think Republicans honestly believe that that's what pro-choice people are saying.
I can guarantee you that some of them think that
they have sex, they get rid of the baby, they have more sex. It's no.
Well, but like you said, I think it's even worse. They think that we use it as or they think that women use it as birth control. You know, that's one of the talking points too.
Yeah.
Now I'm with you. I tell people this now. My wife and I, you know, we were confronted with this when we were dating, and we made a choice, and that was our choice. You know, and we made it for our own personal reasons. But that has nothing to do with the next person.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
that's how my wife and I felt about it. My wife and I didn't. You know, an abortion was not for us. You know, but for other people that might be. They may not have the means that my wife and I did, or you know, who knows? And none of us do. So we should just shut up, especially men, and just back up, back away, and learn your freaking lesson.
There's so much of what that priest said that. Number one, it looks like it looks like his face isn't done cooking yet. Like somebody just, and then it never came back. So that, I have to get that out of the way. It just bothered me. He looked like Rocky.
I feel better now.
He looked like Rocky from Mask. I'm sorry. He's Eric Stoltz, man of the cloth. Now I have to get that out of my system. Oh,
Eric Stoltz, man of the cloth, that guy.
I am already going to hell, so I might as well enjoy the ride.
I'm telling you, we're gonna be sitting next to each other.
I'm driving. I'm driving the train. I got a first class ticket.
Well, from judging from some of the people in the room with us, it's going to take a train to get us all there.
But I mean, the whole thing about what I don't understand about a lot of these men of the cloth that say just gratuitous bullshit like that, especially in a sermon when you're supposed to be teaching about love and compassion and tolerance. Will he be welcomed into my church? Yes. Will I give him communion? No. It's not your choice. You are not the Lord. Shut your mouth. I'm reminded. I'm not one to quote scripture, but Matthew 7:1, judge not lest ye be judged.
There you go.
That's
the part that stuck out for me was when I even wrote it down because it's like the third time I've seen it. But shit. Matter of fact, before I forget, I think it was Ruth was asking me, what parish is that? I can tell you the guy's name. It's Catholic priest William Cosco in Buckeye, Arizona. So you can go figure out where the heck he's from. Unfortunately, it was Arizona. But what I caught was where he said he's a member of the family. Who the fuck wants to be a member of that family?
Well, I mean, we all have family.
You're treating Biden like the gay son that just came home for dinner.
Exactly. I never understood this whole. I mean, the Catholic. This is why I don't practice this. I mean, I was raised Catholic, so
I am Catholic.
And the only one in my family that still goes to church is my dad, and I mean that's a whole conversation in and of itself.
Yeah,
but I don't practice anymore because of this type of stuff. You know, the whole priests sleeping with the altar boys and all that, the molestation and all that, and the Catholic religion, when I was growing up, I was taught that we're supposed to be loving and compassionate and tolerant of each other because that's what Jesus would want. Because as Christians, we practice the teachings of Jesus Christ. And then everything that I'm seeing for the last 20 years is just antichrist bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm going to judge you because you don't look like me, or you don't, I'm a guy, you're a guy, but you like men. So I'm going to judge you for that. Your skin is a different color for that, for me. I'm going to judge you for that. These are the same people that say, have you ever read the goddamn Bible? No.
Oh,
no.
That or you definitely misread it.
And I could go on and on for, I still want to see the Vatican City just because it's beautiful, but I feel if I touch holy water nowadays, it'll start to sizzle and boil.
Yeah,
and I'll just have I gotta get aloe vera on that hand now.
But I think what really one of the nails in the coffin, like I said, I'm with you. I don't go to church anymore. I don't practice at a building. You know, my religion and faith has become very self-contained.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I have like I said, my wife and I, we have our religion, our beliefs, whatever. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I try not to put that out there too much just because I don't want it to influence my platform that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but we end up having to talk about it because of things like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't let this go. We can't let preachers preaching from the pulpit, you know, about politics go.
Yeah. If you want to, if preachers want to start talking politics, then they need to start paying taxes.
Yes. And I think that church, if a church is doing what that man right there just did, and you've got proof of it on video and, you know, whatever, then those churches in particular should absolutely have their tax status revoked.
Exactly.
I agree with. If you're not abiding by, you know, the whole charter and reason that you're getting that tax break, then why would you continue to get the tax break? That's like us continuing to pay the veterans that charge the Capitol on January 6th their pensions. Why would the country that they just tried to commit treason against continue to pay them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's oh God.
It's the same theory. It's the same fucking theory.
So hold on.
Right. Speaking of that, yeah. Yep. So
I came armed.
So we're going to move on to the next one, which will probably still get us spun up. And the reason I'm posting this one, because I thought you and I would have fun talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know if this is the one you're thinking of. I posted on Twitter yesterday. I posted about the gender pay gap. And holy crap, did I start some shit. You know, and I kind of want to talk about it because I think I view it differently than a lot of people.
Okay. And
so this is what I put up. And it is, are we planning on paying women equally anytime soon? Asking for a lot of friends. And it's a comparison for the audio podcast people. It's a comparison between LeBron James and Sue Bird. Sue Bird is a WNBA player, played now 18 seasons in the NBA with 3 or 4 WNBA championships, and her 2020 salary was like $238,000. And her bonus for winning the 2020 finals was $11,000. Now, LeBron James, 17 years in the NBA, 4 NBA championships, 2020 salary was $37.44 million, and his bonus for winning the finals was $370,000. So, to me, I saw that as a huge gender pay gap.
Oh, huge is an understatement.
Right? So, and do you know how many men jumped into that to tell me that I didn't understand the revenue stream of the WNBA and why she was getting paid peanuts compared to LeBron James?
I mean, I can understand that.
That's not a fair.
I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, the only that's the only saving grace is that it's marketability. But if the same energy was put into marketing the NBA, I'm wording this wrong. If the same marketing energy was put into both, that pay gap would be even more insulting.
Yeah,
because I mean they just don't want it to be as profitable. They're just like, oh, we'll let the girls play their game so they can feel equal, but we're still going to put all of our eggs in the NBA basket.
Yep. So now I liked this one. Now, what I did is I used this as a starting conversation point to point out to a lot of these people that it was not just in the WNBA that women are facing these kind of pay gaps. And people brought up the women's soccer league when they were complaining. I think it was a few years ago that they didn't get paid anywhere near what the other national team was getting paid. So I mean, this is a common problem, not just among sports, but out in the real world too. You're talking about CEO pay gaps between females and males. You know, so what I saw from this visual was I saw 2 people, a male and a female, who both accomplished very, very similar things in the same sport that are paid drastically different. I mean, you're talking millions upon millions of dollars versus a couple $100,000. That like you have the star of the NBA and the star of the WNBA, and that's the pay gap.
Yep.
And for some comparison, I went and looked up what the rookie minimum is in 2021 for the NBA. You want to know what it is?
I'm going to say high, 750,000.
Damn close. $840,000 is the rookie minimum with no experience.
That's no. You should get minimum wage, $7, $7.25. Oh, you want to play? You want to? You want to bounce a ball on a wooden floor and put it in a peach basket? Okay, $7.25 an hour. Yeah. Oh, you're really good at it. Okay, now you get a couple million.
Yeah,
but
it's really frustrating to me.
It is,
and I can equate it to a lot of things. You want to talk? We could talk about women, people of color, whatever. It's the same thing. They have to fight harder for the same shit.
Yeah.
And that we have to change that. Like somebody should not have to work twice as hard to get the same thing as I do.
No, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter your gender, your sexual orientation, the color of your skin, your religion. If you're going to say that you have all these freedoms in the First Amendment to say, hey, you can speak your mind, you can, you be this, do this, that, you have all these freedoms, then that should be discrimination free. Should being the key word there.
Yeah.
In a perfect world.
Yep.
Perfect world. Yes, these things would not be in consideration. Oh, you do well at your job. Fantastic. The only separation should be a league for men and a league for women, just because of the physicality. Because and that's only because of just the physical biological standards of because men can get just bigger.
Although, let's be real, men's basketball is not the basketball of the 80s and 90s.
Oh no, it's nothing like the Harlem Globetrotters that I grew up with. It's
even the Bulls and the Pistons. It's just not the same.
That's when basketball was actually decent. Now it's just keep away.
Shit. Men flop more than women, just saying.
And in more ways than one. I need to give a shout out to Nikki since she's in the
audience. Is she in here? She hasn't commented in a few. She might have.
She got me this.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh my god, it's smooth.
Is it?
Oh my god. I'm gonna take a sip for Nikki here.
There you go. We'll all have a sip. So I just, of course I'm fighting for, we're fighting for our daughters because we want them to get paid fairly for their work.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just really frustrating for me to see, the justifications that are used. We need to get more creative at making things more equitable for women, people of color, anybody that's not white and a man. Basically, we need to figure out how to be more equitable.
I mean, we keep on saying. I mean, if you have sisters or a daughter or anything, and you keep on telling them is that you could be anything you want to be when you grow up. I mean, I tell my daughter that all the time.
Yeah.
If she wants to grow up, especially it's so fantastic right now because Kamala is in office.
Yes,
it is so fantastic. I get to sit with the major. I get to sit next to her and said, "You see her? You could be that. You could even shoot farther than her when you get to be her age. When you get to be older." She has raised the bar so much, and I absolutely love the fact that it's getting so many conservative tighty-whities in this little knot, and then all this sand is getting in there, and it's just irritating the hell out of them. It's delicious conservative tears.
It is, and you want to know? I was telling Nikki this actually. I think yesterday, the day before. What's really exciting me is the diversity that we're seeing in the cabinet and these positions. Yes. It's so much more diverse than the last 4 years.
I absolutely love it. I'm for it. I was so happy just to hear Deb Haaland is the Interior. It blew my mind that I mean, it just makes sense to me that you would, of course, you would have a Native American as the Secretary of the Interior. She knows the land. She is from her tribe. It just, if you study anything about Native American cultures, they're all about, the whole circle of the land and giving back and the Great Spirit, and it makes sense. Of course, she's going to care about the land.
Yep.
The only thing that pisses me off about it is that Big Oil is going to go on they're going to do their best to quote unquote scalp her. And it pisses me off just because.
We're already started.
Yeah,
by the way, let me point. I just want to take a second to educate. For those who don't understand, it is not Joe Biden's fault that gas prices are going up. It is OPEC's fault for the decisions that they've made on their output. Yeah. Okay, so let's stop blaming Biden for that. And let's, again, what Murphy just said really drives it home. Do you guys not see the correlation between when the Republicans get in office and gas prices go low so that people let them get away with the bullshit that they're doing? And then when the Democrats get in office, all the Republicans drive up the oil prices and Big Oil drives up the oil prices so to get rid of the Democrats, because the Democrats are always bad for business. I really hope you guys can see that correlation.
Oh, it's been going on. I mean, it's been going on since Jimmy Carter.
Yep.
It's. I mean, that's when it was the biggest, when the oil, the gas shortage back in the 70s.
Yep.
I don't remember this because I was an infant, but my mom told she had to wait like an hour and a half at the gas station because the lines were so long. Just to fill up the VW bus.
Are you talking about the gas wars?
Yeah, I mean, there's the gas war. There was the whole shortage that was going on in the 70s.
Yeah, it was the gas war. And my mom told me a story in Detroit where they were waiting in line and somebody, like, they got in a fight and literally somebody got out and shot somebody over fucking gas.
Jesus Christ! The only thing I have seen with my own eyes that is anywhere close to that, and it probably wasn't even near as insane. A couple of years ago, I went down to Texas to see a friend. I went to I think it was a convention down there, and I think it was a hurricane that was going. It eventually hit Galveston, Texas, and because there is an oil refinery there, they were screwed for a little while. So neighboring cities were shipping in gas, but a broadcaster says, if we do this, if we do step A, there will not be a gas shortage. Everyone ignored everything but the two words gas shortage, and everyone went to the pump. Everybody. And it was like, yeah, exactly. It was like a mass frenzy. Everyone had to fill up, and they, were filling up, extra gallon tanks. And, for, you normally your tank for like your lawnmower or anything like that. And they would be filling up all these different tanks. And then, these gas stations were left short, and then the supply could not meet with the demand. And that's how they were getting shortages. I fly down into Texas in the middle of this bullshit. We had to go like 3, 4, 5 different gas stations and still wait 45 minutes just to get to the pump. Only to find out that this pump is empty. We got to go to the next one. Oh, there's already a line behind that, so we got to get back at the end of the line. It was insane. Insane how that shit worked. And it was nothing to do with, OPEC or Democrats or Republicans. It was just hurricane hit Galveston, Texas. And so, yeah, this whole thing about Biden ceasing all production on the Keystone XL pipeline, that oil wasn't even going to us in the first place. Oh my God, it's.
Yep. That's how I feel.
It's like
You
it's
make
like
us speechless, people.
it's like someone in Milwaukee complaining, I don't have a six-pack just because they have Oktoberfest in Munich, Germany. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's a good. I like that one. That's a good analogy.
It's
All right.
yeah.
So that's enough with that bullshit. So while we still have people on here, we're going to get into the fun questions, but if you guys got to stick around for those. Before though, please tell everybody where they can find you on all your platforms, because you said you do Twitch and, and stuff too. So tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay, well, obviously you guys can see me on the TikToks, where I do the TikToks and the videos and the funness and all that good stuff. So if you guys follow me, thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. You can also follow me if you find me on TikTok, go in my bio. I don't have a link tree anymore. I have a beacon. And that does the reason I have a beacon is I found this out from Shannon Smith. Thank you very much, Tones. I appreciate that. If you get a beacon, you go beacon.page. I can't remember the URL, but it's just like a link tree. You won't get that warning that TikTok puts up if you try clicking on it. It'll just give you your links, which is really handy. So if you guys go to that, you can find me on YouTube, which is youtube.com/WellHeyProductions. I really don't upload there anymore. I pretty much use it as an archive for my live streams, which I do every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central, twitch.tv/WellHeyProductions. Link in my bio.
There you go.
You can also find me on Twitter, OldManMurphy76. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com, WellHeyProductions. Tumblr, which I don't use anymore because it's just a freaking dumpster fire. I can't remember the last time I was on Tumblr. Instagram, OldManMurphy76. Let's see, I got my own merch store. But that link is
everybody your OnlyFans.
And my OnlyFans is The Real Ryan Shed. OnlyFans.com/the Real Ryan Shed.
The one and only, yeah.
and you'll notice it because it's Ryan's head on a male body with tassels.
Stop it. That's going to be a meme. Stop it. Oh, shit. All right. Now that we got that out of the way.
Fan art coming up really soon.
That's going to be a sticker. Oh man. Okay. So you guys that are on Twitch, the biggest chat is actually on YouTube. That's where most of the people. Unfortunately, you guys can't all see each other, which kind of sucks. So I'm sorry about that. But if you go on my YouTube channel at YouTube.com/Ryan Shed, that's where you can actually find us, and that's where most people are probably at watching, and that's where they're all commenting from. So I'm sorry about that. That's a limitation with our streaming service here. So. Going to the meme generator now. Ruth, we're in the same state. Don't forget that, Ruth. All right. So when you need a good laugh, who's the creator you go to for a good laugh?
For a good laugh, who's the creator that I go to? Oh God. For a good laugh. Oh God. Because most of my For You page is now just all of our mutuals. Like you and Nikki and Goddess Mia and Patty and Dave the Comedy and Jaycon and Mary Jo and Walter.
Oh yeah.
Walter Matheson.
Did you see the video of the anti-masker that he did?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Oh my God, he was so roided up.
Not only that, Walter gets some major dude points from me because I would have been sitting there like, I'm gonna hit this motherfucker.
Yeah, he's saying that under his breath. He's just saying, I'm gonna hope your kids get anthrax. It's
But like he didn't back up either. Like
no.
and then when he started going even more ape shit, like he took a step in front of him and was like, "Here, let me put the mic even closer in front of your face." I was sitting there thinking,
Masterson, thank you. I knew I was gonna screw up his
yeah,
last
Walter,
name,
you won some major guy points.
Oh my God, Walter is fantastic. For I don't think. I mean, if I really want to laugh, I mean, I'll just start watching some old school vines. I was like, you got on YouTube, you got like all these Vine compilations. I will watch that until I pass out. If I want to get my daughter to sleep, the one that said, "Oh, if I want to get her to sleep," she just snuggles in my arm and we just start watching Bob Ross.
Hey.
It works like a charm. It's
try that.
Yeah, well, she won't even he'll get done painting the sky and she's gone.
Yeah, you're like, man, you didn't even make it to the clouds.
Yeah, it's just a little swirly cloud.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you, sir.
Even after death, thank you very much.
You still are serving us all.
Yes, he is. On TikTok, I can't say there's one specific person because everyone has their great moments.
Yeah.
Everyone has their great moments. Oh God. I'm trying to think of one that just made me laugh out loud today. And I don't think it was anyone that I particularly follow. I think it's just something that just came up across that it was just like one of those you'll see like oh God, I'm gonna screw it up. But it was just a guy that duetted some guy that stitched this thing that was just hilarious. And I'm like, oh, it was beautiful. And I can't even remember who it was. But it's like random stuff like that that'll pop up on my TikTok that'll just get the belly laugh and I'll just start wheezing like my grandfather did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't say any particular person. I mean, you've made me laugh. Nikki's made me laugh. God is me has made me laugh. I think everyone that I follow in our mutual circle has made me laugh.
Oh yeah,
which is, I mean, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I try to latch on to the people that make me laugh because there's just so much negative bullshit.
Yes,
you know, and that's the one thing I like about our little group of creators that is that there really isn't a lot of drama. Everybody just is cool. You know, I have numbers for I think most everybody you know that we listed. You know, and it's just like we help each other when we can. You know, whether it's wearing each other's merch or whatever it is. You know, I just freaking love it. I think, like I said, that's one of the few good things that has come from the COVID whatever is I got onto TikTok and then somehow it's parlayed into podcasts and all sorts of other stuff. So it's been kind of cool.
Like
go ahead.
No, for mad kudos to Walter for doing what he does. I don't know how he does it. When Marcus went to the actual Capitol to get footage of what was going on, holy crap, I would have been terrified. I don't know how Big Weird Mom actually goes on Parler without saying anything. Major kudos for her, because I would be typing, what the fuck is wrong with you? I would blow up.
Yeah.
My
head would explode.
So kudos to anyone who's able to put up with people and just say, yes, yeah, okay.
I ask her that all the time. I'm like, how does your mental health handle that? Respect. I can't do it. I can't.
Blood would be shooting out my ears, my nose, my eyes, I would probably and now I have a tapeworm. Oh, great. It's just there's just something inside of me that I can't handle that level of ignorance. Anymore. I can't. It's
and don't get me wrong, I've been pretty ignorant in my past life.
Oh well, I mean, there's a big difference between being ignorant. It's the willful ignorance.
Yes.
You could be ignorant about something, and someone says, "Hey, you're wrong about this. This is what really goes on. And you say, oh, I'm sorry, I did not know that.
You know what? That actually happened to me on the other day. I posted a video about Marcia fudge, and I was pronouncing it Marcia because it's spelled Marcia.
Okay.
And somebody corrected me and they said, well, actually it's pronounced Marcia. And I was like, well, shit. And I replied, did a video reply, and I said, well, shit, thanks for correcting me because I didn't know.
I have a very similar thing.
But dude, a lot of people jumped on there and they were like, thank you for not getting defensive about it. I'm like, why the fuck would I get defensive about that? Like, thank you for correcting me. Like,
where's his name?
I'm saying somebody's name wrong. It freaking happens.
Abe Gurko.
Abe, yeah.
Okay, so I did a post a couple days ago about how Coca-Cola and Home Depot are saying boo to the GOP for voter suppression in Georgia. And I'm like, okay, great. And then he personally texts me and says, actually, they're still back in the GOP. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. So now I have to do a retraction.
Yep.
And I thanked him for it. And I mean, I love watching Abe's stuff. His stuff is fantastic.
I'm actually working with Abe offline. He's hooked me up. I have a meeting with Run for Something tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's because of him, actually. He's
awesome.
He's the one that helped me set it up. So
Abe's
out there doing the work, man. Abe's out there he's trying to get stuff done. So
I mean, everyone there's a whole mess of stuff that's just happened by chance that I am like extremely thankful for. I mean, when I started in TikTok, I was just like, you know what? This is gonna, keep me busy while we're still stuck at home.
Yep.
And I have fun with it. And a band once came back. It really wasn't that big of a deal. It came back and all the way up now. And then I never expected to get where I am today. And I know it's just going to keep on going. And the networking. There's just knowing the people that, we can work with, this person and that person and this person and that person. We could do all these fun things. I mean, the whole "you're fired" video that went out and about, that was so much fun to do. And, I love doing that kind of stuff because it gets everybody, you find out everyone that has a common ground, and that's what you latch on to. And I love that kind of stuff, that we can do all that. And we can, we're all kind of, separated in this pandemic still, but we can still work together and we can still have fun while we're doing it.
Yeah. The having fun part, that's what I'm enjoying, and I think it's helped, I think like what we're all doing, particularly like Nikki and I with the Nikki and Ryan experiment and all that, like trying to put a different twist on the politics, and just get everybody more involved in it. And I think that that's something that we've all been very successful at, particularly over the last 6 to 8 months. Yeah. Leading up to the election, I think a lot of us played no matter how significant, or insignificant it was still a role that we played in getting us to where we're at and getting younger folks engaged. And I mean, Nikki and I have 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 17-year-olds, messaging us like, thank you. I got into politics because of you guys, because of what you say and because you made it funny or, because you made it relatable or whatever it is. It's important what we're doing, I think.
I'm paired with Lee with no name a lot. Just so, oh my God, if it weren't for you two guys, I would have gone completely insane during this election.
Yep.
And so, I
love Lee, by the way.
Oh, he's fantastic guy.
Yeah.
I mean, when I found out who he actually was and all that, I'll talk to you after the thing. Yeah. I was just like, what? And so I was just completely blown away that, who Lee actually is. And but working with everybody, making people's lives a lot easier. Because the world is difficult enough as it is. I mean, let's just, enjoy something, because everyone's trying to shit on everybody else's stuff
for attention, for whatever the reason.
Yeah, and just
self-pleasure.
I mean, I get the negative comments, but I'm just like, you got nothing going on. So why am I going to let you bother me when all these I got 50 people saying, "Oh my God, this is great," and one person saying, "Oh, this is crap." Most of us, in reality would focus on that one person.
Yep.
But I try to focus on the other 49, and that's what keeps me going. From
it's funny. I was going to put this up and play it, but it didn't. It seemed like it didn't fit with the episode. But you just kind of made it fit. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah.
It was a meme that basically said what you just said. Where is it? Well, that freaking figures. It was a good one too, but it was like, oh, here it is. Oh. It says, was it a bad day or was it a bad 5 minutes that you milked all day?
There you go. Yep.
That one really speaks to me because,
yes,
like you said, I have a tendency to latch on to like either the one thing I did wrong, or the stupid thing I said to somebody, like, and I'll cling on to that shit all day, and it doesn't matter what else good happens to me. Like, I had to work on that.
It's with the mental health aspect. Yeah, it happens where it'll snowball for me. It's not that I won't dwell on that one thing, but that one thing will get me in a bad mood, and then something else won't go 100% right. So then that will, tick me down a notch, and then another thing, and then another thing, and another thing. And then it just keeps on getting bigger and bigger until by the end of the day, I'm just curled up in a fetal position crying in the bed.
That happened to me on the Nikki Ryan show like 3-4 weeks ago. I got a phone call with some information that fucking sucked, and it was literally like 10 minutes before we went on the show.
Oh, Jesus.
And like, and the show was it was probably one of our worst shows that Nikki had done. And as soon as we hit the end button, Nikki was like, "Are you okay?" And like I had to explain to her what happened. And at the end, she was like, "Well, shit." She's like, "I'd have been fucked up too," Like she was totally cool about it, but it did. It just totally messed up my mojo for the show. And then the show sucked. So after that, I was dwelling on the fact that the show sucked. I felt like it was my fault, and then you don't sleep well that night. And then the next, it's all freaking connected. And
I actually a couple of years ago, I went down to Arizona for the Phoenix. It's called the Phoenix Fan Fest now. But I mean, it's a big, cosplay convention.
Okay.
I've met two of my dearest friends live in the Tucson area. And they invited me down there and did some cosplaying, had some fun. And then I was supposed to be on a panel with both of them. And then 5 minutes before we were to go on, I get a phone call, and it completely knocks the wind out of my sails.
Yeah.
And then I get back after that phone call, and I'm just sitting down and said, "Are you going to join us up on the stage?" And I said, "I just got a phone call, and it just fucked me up. I can't. I don't want to ruin it for you guys."
Yeah.
And that's sometimes that's. You still want to do the thing that you promised that you were going to do. Yeah. But if you keep on going through with it, it's not gonna go people well. Are going to know that something's up. And I did not want to ruin it for everybody else. So I had to take myself out of it.
That's profound what you just said.
It was. And to this day, I know I did the right thing because I didn't want to, bring them down, but I'm still like, I still wanted to do it, man. I'm never going to get that chance again.
Yeah, you beat yourself up. You continually beat yourself up.
It's a continuous cycle, and it keeps on going over. And the rerun button up here just plays all the horrible highlights. And not the good stuff, I don't get the replays in my brain of the Immaculate Reception. No, I get the time where I tripped over my own shoelaces, and that's what plays over and over and over and over.
Yep.
And I hate it.
It is, and it sucks. I relate with pretty much everything you just said. It's I have a hard time just letting it go sometimes, but. Yeah, man, the mental health aspect of everything matters, from everything from the gun control to our daily life and being creators here online too. We have to pay attention. Yeah. So, okay, look, I got 2 more questions I want to ask you, but then I have to wrap up because I actually have a meeting with LD9. Okay. We're having our monthly meeting, and that's where I'll be running if everything works out the way it's supposed to. That's where I'll be running.
All righty.
So, okay, what got you into hockey?
What
Or
got me?
who?
Okay, what got me into hockey? I live in the north.
I grew up. Well, that's true. Okay,
I just
I grew up in Detroit. That's why I'm asking.
well,
Do you know the production line?
say that again.
Do you know the production line?
No,
Well, then you're not fucking into hockey. Let's start there.
no. I enjoy watching
Red
hockey.
Wings, Detroit Red Wings production line. Gordie Howe, Sid Abel, Ted Lindsay,
Okay, okay.
1950s. They won 4 Stanley. How the fuck do you not know that? I know it's hard because the Red Wings have so many Stanley Cups. It's hard.
Okay, there is a thing with me and the Red Wings. I hate them.
Yeah.
The reason I hate the Red Wings isn't because of their storied franchise. It's because my freshman year of college, my roommate was an avid Red Wings fan, and he would not shut up about them. It doesn't even matter if you were talking about hockey or not. He would weasel them in all the time. So now I just fucking hate the Red Wings. And I have nothing but respect for Gordie Howe. In Traverse City, there is a restaurant called Gordie Howe's.
Yep.
And I bought some of the merch, so I still have that shirt to this day. What got me into hockey was probably the Milwaukee Admirals. When we moved to Milwaukee, I was born in Bolingbrook, Illinois, so I'm not 100% a cheesehead. Born in Illinois, then we moved to Ohio, where my brother was born, and then we moved to Milwaukee because my dad transferred from station to station, from location to location. Mm-hmm. So when we finally settled in Milwaukee, that's where I grew up for most of my life. And we went down to downtown Milwaukee. We watched the Milwaukee Admirals play. I mean, it was AHL. It wasn't full NHL, but it was the closest thing we had. And I loved watching. It was so much fun, but I was never really athletic. Then I went up to college to Northern Michigan University. And hockey is bigger than church up there. And like I said, I knew how to ice skate. I never really played hockey in my life. My best friend said, "Hey, why don't we have this intramural team? Why don't you join us?" I'm like, "Well, I've never played hockey in my life." So we'll just try. Nobody really is any good. We just like to play. So I'm like, okay. I go there, I play, and I found out that I absolutely loved it. And I'm shooting myself in the foot ever since. They're like, why didn't I figure this out earlier when I was younger? I might actually be good now.
Yeah.
And then so to get my son into it, and it really wasn't that much of a push because I knew how expensive hockey is. Yes. With the skates and the stick and the breezers and the shin guards and the shoulder pads and the helmet. I mean, you're just for 1 year, you're talking $600, and then for the ice fees, that's another $1,500. We brought him to a Milwaukee Admirals game, and during one of the intermissions, they had one of the youth hockey leagues come onto the ice in between like the first and second period, and they were just doing like mini mite hockey back and forth, following like a group of kids following the puck. They really weren't. And then we had a good friend of ours who gave us his tickets. We were right up against the glass, and he was like 2, maybe 3 at the time, had his hands on the glass and face up there going,
just loving it.
And then he turned to me, he says, "Daddy, I want to do that." And I was like, oh.
You're like, done, son. We're going now.
And I'm like, oh, that's great. But in the back of my head, all I heard was ting. And then I'm like, oh no, the money. It's how much is it gonna cost? It's gonna cost money.
Yeah.
But I said, okay, if you want to play hockey, you have to learn how to skate because you don't know how to learn how to skate. They have in the city that we actually live in, they have a learn to skate program through the park system, community, everything. And so we signed him up for that, and he just breezed through that. And I asked the instructor, "Do you think he's ready for hockey?" He said, "Well, we have a hockey instructor who just gives basics, how to hold the stick, how to, how to shift your weight so that, because when you're learning to skate and you learn to play hockey, it's completely different weight distributions." So, we'll have the hockey instructor just watch him and then say if he's ready or not. And the first day he said, yeah, sign him up right away. This kid's ready. First class that he had with this hockey instructor said, I got to tell you, I am not impressed by much, but you need to get him into some youth league because he has a fire inside him that will only be quelled by being in an actual hockey tournament. So I'm like, done. So we signed him up for the county youth hockey. Six seasons later, we got back from state championships this year. They got third place.
Nice.
So yeah, it's, I mean, he loves playing. So and that's how I live vicariously, because as long as he's enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. And I've seen a lot of sports dads or sports parents. It's like either win or you're out of the family. And I don't want to do that. So we made a deal. As soon as it's not fun for him anymore, he just finishes his season. He's done. No questions asked.
You gotta finish, but but I won't make you do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I like that. All right. Last question.
Yeah.
And congratulations. I mean, third best team in the state. That's
yeah. It's not, well, I mean, there's several different levels. There's bantams, there's peewees. He's on the squirt level, which is right in the middle. And then he's on the lower end of that squirt level. But almost every one of the teams that was eligible for state championship came back with a trophy. Yeah. So, I mean, we got the whole organization it's kind of like the flagship of Wisconsin youth hockey. So it's kind of nice being in that really nice comfort zone.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So last one is, what do you hope to accomplish, through your social media? Like, I know like you said, we started with, I started like in June. It was actually the day that John Lewis died. I know it's a weird day, but that was the day I started TikTok. So
what do I hope to accomplish?
If anything.
If anything, I mean, part of me doesn't want to accomplish a goddamn thing just because I'm just out there. You know what? Okay. Drop all that. Yeah. Scratch all that. No. It's to see tomorrow, because believe it or not, the fans actually keep me going with this. It's not about me at all. I do this stuff and I'll just like, oh, here's a headline that I can talk about. And then I just do my shtick and then people like it. And they said, oh, they like that. I think I'll do it again. That's pretty much it. Yep. I do not have an agenda. I do not have a goal. All this stuff that's been happening, one of my closest friends, I mean, we're kind of like simpatico, where we're really close on the same wavelength, where we just go through life, no expectations. Because as soon as I start having expectations about, oh, well, now I have to get I hit 100,000. Well, now I have to get to 200,000. No, I have to get to 500. No, I have to get to 1 million. It stops being fun.
Yep.
Because it becomes a chore. It's a job. It's no fun anymore. So I'm surprised I got past my old number when my old account was banned. 36,000. I mean, I blew that out of the water. I'm like, what old account? I had an old account. Okay, fine. Yeah. I guess I did.
And you've done so, might I add, because every time I've had to tag you over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've had to spell out your entire freaking screen name with the underscore 76.
Yep. Yeah.
So you also reached 100,000 while being shadow banned. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. But I really can't. Because I hear that term a lot, but consistently all of my videos hit 1,000 or more. So, and I'm happy with that. If I can get my videos like 1,000 or more, I'm just like, wow, okay, great. That's okay. Let's keep that formula going. But up, and keep on rolling them out.
Yeah.
And then just stuff will just like, oh, here's an idea. Let's do that. Here's an idea. Let's do that. I mean, of course, the first thing I do when I wake up. I look at, here are the top stories of the day, and that I belt those out really quick. I'll respond to some stuff. I'll throw some chuckle fuck under the bus, and I'll do that stuff. Here's a great idea for some merch. I'll do that. Oh no, here's a good idea for something I can do, like I can lip sync to this Ghostbusters scene, or I'll just start throwing. It's all just like random haphazard stuff. I mean, I have my base formula, but I mean,
it's like this app was made for people with ADHD and other
issues.
Yes.
I love the fact, because I used to be on YouTube religiously narrating creepypasta, short horror stories, and a lot of effort and planning had to go into that.
Yeah.
Now, I still put effort in planning, but it's 60 seconds at the most. And most of the time, if I'm doing a 60-second video, I'll have to rush the last 10 seconds because, I got 3 sentences to go. But okay.
I've seen a couple of yours where it's nice and calm, and then all of a sudden you get to like the last got it.
Yeah. And it's just like it's the visual representation of being 5 years old and wanting to say happy birthday, Mom. Happy is super huge. Birthday, Mom.
Yep.
So yeah, but if I get to, I'm happy if I get to 100,001 tomorrow. Tomorrow, if I got to I'll be happy tomorrow if I get to 102.
Yeah.
After that, I'll be happy. If I get to 102, I'll be happy if I get to 103. I just look at it like that.
Thankful.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my God, how do you guys? It's still in the back of my head. It's like, how the hell do you guys put up with me? My wife can barely put up with me. How do you guys day after day? But it's in like short increments. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
My wife actually was explaining that to me because she doesn't watch any of my shit. She doesn't watch she very rarely watches my TikToks, and it's only when they come up on her Follow You page.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't want. I don't think she's watched one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it the other day, and she's like, I have to live with you. I see you 24/7. She goes, You think I want to go spend the hour I get away while you're on that doing it, listening to you? No. And it was like, after she explained it to me, I went, that's pretty fair.
Yeah, it's a break between the two of you. I'm
pretty fair.
I'm surprised my wife is a moderator on my live streams. It's like, why are you here? You're able to get rid of, you actually want to listen to me just blah, 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 blah. No, you're here. What? Mate,
you?
And sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, honey, on the way back from hockey practice, we're gonna stop at Taco Bell. Do you want anything? That we could just cut out the middleman.
Oh my God. All right. With that, we're gonna wrap it up, and clearly this will not be your last time on either of the shows. So thank you again for joining me. We'll make our little announcement that we were talking about earlier later when we get it all together. But yeah, man, thanks for coming on today and sharing some of your stories and talking about some of this craziness going on with me. I really appreciate it. And everybody that's on, if you don't already follow Murphy, please go follow him on all his platforms. You look up Old Man Murphy, and his little symbol, you'll find him.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. And please go ahead and follow me on all my stuff, and we will be back. I will see you on NRX on Monday, and I will be back here Tuesday with none other than Sadia. We're going to have a nice conversation about some of the crazy stuff going on in Texas. So we'll leave you, as I always do, with much love and